European Union Pavilion, and I got strawberry, cherry, and blueberry jam. These are organic
Yes. It's organic.
and with no added sugars, no refined sugars, nothing, and they're really subtle in their taste and all natural, and it's not overpowering. And I believe so. This one is available, and so this one is available online, right? On Shopee and all that. Okay, I've already sampled. This one's what the strawberry, and then I sampled the blueberry.
And you have to sample this is cherry.
This is
with
cherry.
A hint of ginger.
Cherry with a hint of ginger. Okay,
Yes.
I'm going to try that.
Yes.
And then just after this, they're going to have a talk and a presentation there how to pair jams and cheeses of Europe, and that should be very interesting as well. Pairing workshop where you pair European cheese with jam. There's all kinds of cheese from different parts of the EU. Plum jam. I haven't tried the plum jam yet. So they have a lot of such sessions, training sessions, cooking shows as well. And I'll be attending this one.
I think if you're going to have cheese as for breakfast, you also want it to be made really well, good quality, and with kind of like provenance and terroir.
Yes.
So what are your favorite cheeses, and what are we going to talk about today? Which cheese are we featuring today?
Okay, so there are three cheeses that we're going to feature today. First one of the iconic cheese from France, Squash.
Yes.
Of course.
It's quite a stinky cheese, right?
Yeah, it is.
But you love it.
I love it. Yes, exactly. It's from Burgundy. Some may argue it's the number one cheese from Burgundy. So yeah, it's very gooey, soft, runny. So it's like actually a perfect companion for any kind of crusty breads like a baguette or even a sourdough. Two breeds of sheep, the Lacha and also the Carranza. From the Basque region, so it is actually located on the actually Danish blue is something a little bit more common because it's widely available everywhere. I think in supermarket, in some of the cheese specialty store. Actually, it is a PGI product, but it's actually a little bit more mild. Most
Oh, thank you.
some more.
So
You
how
get
would
to
you
taste
start the
some of the
process? So if
cheese.
you're going to have a blue cheese, a kind of a stinky.
Before everyone start the tasting, I think shall we go with a little bit like introduction of like a little bit like
The flavor
deeper-
perhaps?
Yeah, the flavor as well. Because of course for the cheese tasting, just
I got it,
You know,
thanks.
you're gonna observe, you know, the appearance, and then you're gonna smell, get the aroma right, and then okay, hint of sweetness, natural sweetness. So the people actually cheese is that they try to dry this cheese after it's being molded. Try to dry this. It's called Ghana blue, but better known as Danish blue cheese outside of Europe. Cheese has actually less strict rule, okay, but it has to be made in Denmark, okay, using a very specific technique to make this kind of blue cheese. So it's actually created in 1927, okay, and it's actually an answer to Roquefort in France, but a little bit more milder. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, it's actually a good starter, a good cheese to explore before you going into like a bit more advanced. Like Roquefort, which is a little bit more intense, a little bit more pungent. This is actually quite mild.
Who
Yep.
likes their cheese really stinky?
Nice.
Is it too mild? So that's like how long is the workshop?
The workshop usually is it's actually 1 day workshop from morning 9 in the morning to 6 p.m. But it's gonna be a very
In
intense
Malaysia.
workshop because you're gonna taste like 14 to 15 type of cheeses,
Wow.
which I think maybe is a little bit more. It's a bit too much, so we try to split into like 2 days.
Okay.
Yeah, from 1 day split into 2 days.
So
Yeah.
2 days of full-time cheese eating.
Yep.
Okay, that sounds quite fun actually.
It does.
Anyone has
Culture, rennet can be animal or can be a vegetarian, and salt. That's it. Four ingredients.
Milk.
So it's very natural, very healthy.
question I mentioned about wine pairing with the cheese.
Mhm.
What kind of cheese is good for Singapore for wine pairing?
Okay, so in terms of pairing with wine, I think maybe it's like most people might think cheese is good with red wine, but I would say white wine is actually a more better pairing. Okay, and also it's a safer pairing. Yeah, but of course a bit of sparkling wine. Say for example, Epoisse is from Burgundy, right? So the best is actually they will pair with the white wine from Burgundy.
Nice.
Enjoyed your session with Casey, and we'll see you at 12 p.m. We've got a cooking session.
Thank you.